Hi there. So, first off, I have been having quite a difficult time. I notice often this time of year that like a sunlight, the dark evenings always impact my mental health, and so I just kind of want to voice that. And I have many coping mechanisms and strategies, but it's been a really intense year for me personally, and yeah, I feel like I really could do with some very deep rest, um, but don't quite have the opportunity for that at the moment. Nonetheless, today at work, I'm not sure if I've mentioned before, I'm a forest school leader. I work with children under the age of 5 currently, and we were exploring what is essentially a big puddle, and it struck me, and it always gets me. I observe the children constantly and continuously jumping in the water, literally sitting in the water, becoming one with the water. And I know through experience, at some point they will get cold. At some point they will be fed up of being wet, or simply realize they're wet because actually they hadn't noticed. And the realization that always comes to me is how present they are. They don't worry about being wet in the future. They don't worry about the fact they might be cold. They just act. The impulse is there and they act. Of course, there are times when we don't want to just act on impulse, and that's part of discernment and part of, I think, having that bit of wisdom as we get older. But actually, I think we can go too far, and there's that paralysis that happens when instead of taking action, taking that leap towards something that's exciting, there's hesitation. There's a freeze response. There's something, that doesn't feel safe. Something in our body stops us. And it just really showed me, again, they always teach me, the children, showed me what it means to be free, to be unencumbered with the weight of years and years of thinking. Which I think is the crux of so many of our issues, is we are just overweighed with the fact that there is 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, even 50 plus years of thinking and stories and beliefs which then run the show, and that's where we start creating this way of being in the world. And sometimes it's not good, sometimes they're not healthy ways of being. And something Nova keep talking about is being. Like, what does it mean to be? Just being a being. What does that mean? And it's interesting that I have these little moments, these little reminders, because for myself, I for sure, too often I freeze, too often I don't take action, too often I will go into the mind and I will just think and think and think and think and think, and then the energy's gone. The action, I've missed that opportunity to jump into something. So yeah, there's a little bit of what I've been learning, what I've been experiencing, and yeah, it feels like a good time to bring Nova in, who knows what they'll talk about. Again, I always say this, I don't plan anything I say. Me personally, and then the channeling, it's not me saying it. So, let's see. Let's see what Nova have to say. Maybe they'll talk on this, maybe they won't. And let's see what comes through. Good. We are Nova. We are free. All of you currently who are still alive, and we would say for you to be observing us through this lens, you are very much alive, although you may not feel it. You are all moving into a new paradigm, a new way of being within yourself, within your being, within your reality that you share. You are all transitioning from old stories, beliefs, patterns, behaviors into new ones, whether you know it or not. You are all graduating from a place, let's say, of high school to university. All of you are going through a great change. You are going through a growth edge. You are moving forwards in your alignment to be who you came to be. Now, it's quite ironic to make statements like this from our perspective, because all of you are currently exactly where you need to be. You are who you are supposed to be, but it is time now for you to start looking in the mirror. It's time for you to start unburdening yourself with the parts of you that do not resonate with your soul. You have had free will, and you still do, and your free will is your own, and you may choose to experience what you wish. But so many of you are now choosing to really embody your soul, to be the light that you are. So many of you are choosing to move into greater ideas, greater ways of being in the world, which are more aligned with harmony, more aligned with peace, more aligned with joy, and more aligned with love. These are energies that are more closely associated and correlated with your heart, with your soul, if you wish. And we have said before that the soul actually comes through the heart, and some of you prefer the term chakra, and that is fine, and it will come through from that point in your being. And we wish for you to know that you are always the light of your soul. But what you do is you put up filters that do not allow it to reach the physical reality that you perceive. But it is there. It is like drawing the blinds, but you draw hundreds of them. All these stories and beliefs that you are not worthy, that you are not loved, that you cannot be good at X, Y, and Z, that you will not have the child that you desire, that you will not get the job or career that you desire. These are all blinds that you pull to dim your own light and dim the energy that is required to bring those to you. Your beliefs are very powerful, and they are what actually guides your energy. If you believe you are not worthy of love, how do you dare experience it? Do you see? Immediately you pull that blind shut and dim the light that you are. If you were to shine the 100% of your energy, your soul's energy, into this life, you would be in a very, very different place. And that is something that can only happen over time. You cannot simply pull back hundreds of blinds all at once, because it would blind you. And your light is blinding. So, practically, what can you do? Well, how do I be the light that I am? How do I work on all of these blinds? How do I open them one by one? We've said it before, but you must start looking in the mirror. You must start asking yourself, who am I? Why am I? Now, who am I? Fundamentally is easy to answer and simultaneously very difficult. You are all light. You are all from the same light. But you incarnate to experience the individual experience of free will, to create and to make choices, and to work through different situations, different circumstances for your own soul's evolution. Your soul has requirements for you in this life. Some people have called these contracts. And these are things that are not necessarily preordained, but there are opportunities for learning that your soul will call into your life through wherever it is that you are, in whatever way that is possible for you at that time, to enhance the experience that you came here to learn, to breathe, and to be. So why are you here? Well, that's it. You are here to take the opportunity of your own freedom and free will to learn specific requirements your soul has for you and do what you will with them. You may choose to experience something negatively, or you may pick up the positivity brush and see it in a positive way. And we have said this before, and it's hard for you to understand and accept that morality is very much a human invention. No act is neither positive nor negative, it simply is. It is an act. It is a choice someone has made. Now, of course, some choices are made from a low place rather than a higher. It is just a choice nonetheless. We would not abnegate war. We would say that is not a choice aligned with your soul. But you have the choice to align with your soul and to learn, or you can run in the opposite direction and learn in the other way. You will learn either way, and neither is really positive or negative. Now, we will leave that there. So, your being. How are you being in the world? How are you being in the world? When you look in the mirror at yourself, am I happy? More often than not. Am I sad? More often than not. Am I in the mind? More often than not. Am I stewing on the little inconveniences? Am I the person who gets road rage every morning? Am I the person who smiles and loves freely? Am I the person who giggles and laughs and is silly? Often the ways that we be in the world is dictated by our past experiences from our childhood. The people who made us feel loved, made us feel safe, made us feel happy, often we will learn how to behave through them. We look at people that we admire at a very young age. And you are looking up to these adults, and they are your teachers because they are teaching you ways of being. Perhaps they are teaching you to be stroppy. Perhaps they are teaching you to be grumpy. Perhaps they are teaching you to be violent. Perhaps they are teaching you to be aggressive. Or perhaps they are imbuing you with love. Perhaps they are imbuing you with humor, with laughter. Perhaps they are imbuing you with wonderful, beautiful experiences that will ground into your being. And that is a gift, because when you are grounding beautiful experiences into those children's minds, hearts and souls, they make a choice. I want to be like this person, and I will begin to behave like this person, and they adopt that way of being. That's why it is vital, particularly with the young children, that you show up authentically and give them your best always. And now we understand it is not always your best that can show up, and that is okay. Nobody is expected to be perfect, because perfection in itself makes very little sense. If everything is perfect, which it is, then the imperfections are perfect too. And that would be a paradox, would it not? And so we will leave you with the idea that you imprint ways of being, not just on children, but on others. On others who look up to you and admire you. The more you can be in your light, the more you can be yourself, the more you can show up authentically as the bright light that you are, the more your light will shine on others, and they will see the light like a moth to a flame, and they will warm to you. They will flock to you, and the ways of being that you are showing them is possible, because people need to see what is possible in these times. They need to feel the light. They need to feel the warmth of your light. They need to perceive all of it. They need to allow it to soak into their pores, into their bones. Now, more than ever, in these times, you are here to be the light that you are. Because it takes one match to start a forest fire. And the light is desperate to spread. So we urge you, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror at the shadows. Your shadows. What are you projecting into your life that does not serve you, those stories, those beliefs? Allow them to fall away. You simply acknowledge them for what they are, and you say no more. I say no more, and you notice when the pattern arises, and you say no more, and you consciously choose the other. It is a very simple practice, but one which holds great power and ease for creating change for those who are ready. and those who are committed, for you must be disciplined. Good. We are Nova. We're so grateful to sit, to bring our light into this vessel, and we wish you all to remember that you are beautiful, radiant beings of light first, and you're human second. But the human you is just as important as the light that you are. Good. I find that the hardest thing when you're perceiving a lot of darkness, those stories are going round around your head, is having the awareness to catch it quickly enough, taking the action to really move through whatever it is that you're dealing with. For myself personally. And yeah, Nova always make things sound really simple, and I don't always find it that simple myself. But being committed and disciplined to your own healing and to looking in the mirror is huge, and it makes a real difference. Has made a real difference to my life, and yeah, I think if only we could all bring more of our light in, make this world a bit brighter, then I'd say we've done alright, really. So thank you if you've listened this far. Again, I just would like to say that you can go to my website. I am offering remote readings and one-on-one readings if you'd like to speak to Nova one-on-one with lots of questions. It's a really great opportunity to get into a bit of a deep dive with Nova. So I'll catch you next time.